Parents of teenagers, parents of high school going kids, this is for you. I want to make you aware of an article that came out in The Citizen highlighting a new crisis that's hitting our schools. The article was on Tuesday, the 21st of April 2026, and it says this. It says, Schools Vaping Crisis. A hair-raising study published by the SA Medical Journal surveyed 52 schools in South Africa has raised the alarm over a growing vape fad amongst pupils. What happened is that they looked at over 25,000 learners across 52 schools in 8 provinces. This is nationwide, and this is what they found. About 1 in 6 pupils are currently vaping. Think about that for a second. 1 in 6 pupils are currently vaping. And over a third have already tried it. But the part that stood out to me wasn't just how many, it wasn't just the numbers, although the numbers are shocking. Okay? It's what's actually happening behind it. Among the learners who vape, about 38% are vaping every single day. Think about that for a second. 47%, that's basically half, are vaping within the first hour of waking up. And around 11.8% say that they can't get through a school day without it. So this is why it's happening at school, in the bathrooms. But guys, the point of what I'm trying to say is it's not occasional use, that's dependence. Nearly 90% of those vapes contain nicotine. So this isn't just about trying out a new flavor or curiosity. This is actually exposing them, and there's a line in the article that should make us all just kind of wake up. It says that vaping is really an isolated habit. They say that they found that there's a strong overlap between vaping and other substances. So for instance, smoking cigarettes and even moving on to smoking weed. So for a lot of kids, you need to understand this. It may start at vaping, but it doesn't stop at vaping. It moves. Now the article also looks at why. And what they found is that learners are saying it's not just for fun. Some are using to deal with stress. Some vape to cope with anxiety. Some vape for depression. Some for things like dealing with body image. They've even said that for some people it helps them to sleep at night. The article goes on to say that over time this can turn into a deep dependency. Now, if you add in peer pressure, which they experience at this age, easy access, we all know that you can get it on any corner store, and how normal it's become. 1 in 6 students at your child's school is doing it. You understand why it's spreading so quickly. Another point they make is that many pupils don't fully understand the long-term impact, and so it continues. Not because they don't care, but because our kids just can't see the full picture. And this one stood out to me. It said that about 24.9%, guys, that's 25% said that if they have to wait too long before vaping, they feel anxious or irritable. You see, what we're talking about is reliance. We're talking about addiction at this point. As a parent, what can I do? Well, I don't think the takeaway is panic, it's awareness. Because this is happening across schools, across provinces, across different environments, and it's probably happening in your child's school as well. So the question shouldn't only be, is my child involved? It should also be, would I know if they were? And more importantly, have I created the kind of space where they could tell me? Because this doesn't start with a lecture, it starts with a conversation. Not aggressive, not interrogating, not assuming the worst, just sitting down and asking. Saying, hey, you know, I saw something this week about vaping in schools. There was an article, there was a video. What are you seeing at your school? What's happening in your class? What are the kids around you doing? And then actually listening. Not rushing to correct, not jumping in with consequences straight away, but just understanding where they're at. Because mom and dad, if a young person is using something like this to cope with stress or pressure, what they need first is not punishment. They first need support. They need to know that there's someone in their corner. So maybe this week the action is simple. Start the conversation, keep it open, keep it safe, and make sure your child knows that whatever they're facing, they don't have to face it alone. Let's raise them strong and addiction free.